Is TTCB investigating itself? Well, from one PNM to the next, and hey, yes, man, that's what we talking about. Asim PNM Basarat, you're fitting nice in the PNM. You see dictatorship, constitutional majority, and abuse of constitution, power grabbing, whistleblowers pelt out. You are the perfect PNM Asim Basarat. But don't worry, for Scott Dunn had the report. Is TTCB investigating itself? Asked Anthony Morgan of Pitty Valley. Last week, following a chain of events at the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, I, like many other commentators, was compelled to write to the editor raising concerns and calling for answers. On March 8, 2024, the Trinidad Guardian carried the story of TTCB media release seeking to dispel these concerns and provide an explanation for the seemingly bizarre action of removing the treasurer after he reported to them possible fraud amounting to over $500,000 at the TTCB. However, as a discerning observer, I am still not appeased by this explanation. Well, I'm glad that you are very correct. But when it starts at the top with Keith Christopher Rowley and a man dancing bareback when the PNM stole the election in 2015 and singing, using racist epithets that he loved Rowley and he loves Stuarty Smallpin, and if he loved them like how hog love mud, and he want to make one his wife and all of that. That was Nazim Bash, the man who had a company, that there was an investigation and there was an inquiry into how come so much oil started to come out of the same hole. So it had this much coming out, and then a PNM failed candidate for Superior, Dioki Singh, was in charge of the car and the pump here, and somehow when Dioki Singh was there, they turned on this pump and poof, about this amount of oil come out per day. And Franklin Khan went in the parliament and boast. Now, if that was real oil coming out there, I believe in merit. Right? Look, Dioki Singh there, PNM, where is he? And why is Petrotrin shut down? Why we can't investigate? Get a statement from he, get an investigation, get a forensic audit into how much pump pressure, how much oil could come out per hour, and if only a certain amount could come out per hour, and X amount more than that come out, then somebody had to get locked up. But what happened? Keith Rowley, the Prime Minister of the country, who is in charge of selecting the Minister of Energy, who is in charge of approving the board of Petrotrin, Keith Christopher Rowley as Prime Minister said he was the best friend. He was so, when he heard about the accusations that oil was coming up all over the place, he called his friend and said, hey man, what's this about? And the man told him, nah man, I don't know nothing about that. And Rowley remained as Prime Minister, remained in charge of the Ministry of Energy and the Minister of Energy, and he fired that minister, replaced that minister with the next one. He kept in charge of Petrotrin. He kept in charge of the board. He lied and said that the board told him to shut down Petrotrin when Winfred Espine went under oath in the Labour Court and said, I said no such thing. Solomon McKinsley and Lashley report said, do not shut down Petrotrin. Rowley shut down Petrotrin of his own volition by himself after telling the population, I am not closing down Petrotrin. All of that continued. The investigation continued. Our Commissioner of Police then, Gary Griffith, asked the PNM for money to get a forensic auditor to audit and so on. Petrotrin shut down. All the security and all was removed. So if your police want a statement from the man who was on post on the 23rd of July, X amount, and who signed the, Dioki Singh signed the book, he go on, them fired, new fellas come in. If the pump man was there, who collect all the evidence, who where the GPS, where the cars, who record, how much gas was put, where the car went, where the record, the whole investigation, poof, because Petrotrin closed down, staff gone, everybody gone, police can't make no case, plus the government ain't spend no money to get no analysis, even though the PNM board under Winfred Espine had 3 separate audits showing that exorbitant amount of oil just miraculously came out of wells that were producing at this level. They just start to produce up here. Like they was running 11 seconds for 100, and the next day they run 9.61 just behind Bolt, touching Bolt heels. That's what took place, and Rowley stayed in charge of the entire process, even though he told you, that is my friend. So Rowley was in charge of investigating his friend. Rowley remained in charge of all. And then when they shut down Petrotrin, Rowley put his lawyer in charge of the key part that would be the main part to be investigated, or to investigate and to provide evidence and case against his friend. And then it went to arbitration. And when the arbitration came out, the senior counsel paid for by the government to protect your money said, hey, appeal. And Rowley's own personal lawyer said, no, we hear the senior counsel now, but we have some junior counsel here, we're going to take advice. And then they did not appeal, but they appealed. A little child who had brain damage from lack of medical attention, and he get a little money. The PNM appealed that to not pay the child who in a wheelchair, but they did not appeal Rowley friend. And you know what the settlement did? The settlement gave Mr. Dancer Boy, Whiner Boy, who loved Rowley like hog love mud. If you could even find that, I didn't even ask for that, but I want to remind the fellas and the people, he likes Stuarty, and he want to make Stuarty his wife when PNM win election. He end up getting, on top of everything, $118 million of your money. And
this is for Deputy Crowley and the youthful
man, this lucky fella.
We call it I'm celebrating the PNM celebration now. So I just give my love it. Just give my love, you know. If you're not here, you might have my wife. And Rowley, you queen. I'm not going to keep you Rowley. Yeah. I love what you like. Home, love, boy. And the next come out to celebrate the claiming of PNM candidates and of PNM people. What do you combine like this? Study by what? What keep? What does it? Or it's when they are of the mind? But now who do you want to claim? Celebrating. Ready to PNM. Ready to PNM.
That is who you vote for. And all you people who say race in politics, all you proud black African people, that's what you vote for. And he get, after all, cause no investigation, minister get fired, board get fired, Petrotrin shut down, no statement, no forensic audit, no check, no diokising, no statement, no GPS, no investigation, no, and then Rowley choose his own police commissioner, DCP Dunce, when he collapsed the police service commission. So all of that done, and then that man get $118 million cash in your money, plus a further 10-year contract on different oil fields valued at $950 million. He could dance, he could whine, he could love, and he could vote for Rowley and Stuarty. But you, normal citizens all over this country, who suffering to put food on the table, who deciding whether to drive your car X amount or Y amount because the fuel subsidy gone, you who had to fill out property tax form now and pay more for that man, your property tax, he getting 3 years full if property tax full. Rowley not taxing here, Rowley not taxing industry, not Rowley not taxing commercial, Rowley not taxing all them KFC, Rowley not taxing warehouse, he not taxing big business, he not taxing industry, taxing property tax on you. And y'all vote for that to say what? That we black, and somebody say they have a problem between black and Indian. When Trinidad and Tobago had problem with black and Indian? Who created that? Where that? Because I grow up here all the time, and it ain't have problem with that. It have problem with dotish and discourteous. We might have problem with selfish and ungrateful. But that come in all shades, all colors, all ethnicities, all religions. But the PNM come to tell you something about black. Now, if you was black and you get 118 million and you get an investigation scuttled because a whole refinery shut down and police can't investigate, and you get your own commissioner police to not further the investigation, and you get a new board, and you get Rowley lawyer to make sure that things nice and cool, and you get a further 10-year contract worth 900 and something million, totaling 1.1 billion dollars. Well, you should wind bareback and vote for Rowley too. But the problem is you don't get nothing. You just get sufferation. Rowley take your laptop, he take your sport funding, he take your culture, he make the road bad, he trying to take money out of your pocket by putting up camera. He built up $185 million roundabout day, a kind of flyover that nobody does use. But the design so poorly, he come and make, and going in Diego Martin in his constituency, the speed limit is 50 kilometers. And I hear they put up camera now so that you could get speeding ticket, $1,000 ticket in your mailbox. All you ever try to drive 50 kilometers per hour? Seriously. On a highway going past Westmore, past Cocorit. All of y'all just try to do it. I tried to do it. You cannot even touch the accelerator. In fact, it is so dangerous you could fall asleep. I could snore and go into dream world at 50 kilometers per hour. 50 kilometers per hour is nearly, I could probably run faster than that. That's the speed limit now that they want to charge you ticket going down into Diego Martin West on the highway because they built a dotish roundabout that had too little space for $185 million so that you could possibly reach West Mall quicker. Now, if you're dead in and you need to reach West Shore, you still have to do the whole old drive and go down by Mukurapo Road and come back, you know. So if you have a heart attack, you go dead before you reach West Shore. But if you need to buy cricks and cheese by West Mall or Massey Thursday, you could reach fast so your belly wouldn't grumble. That is PNM. So my brother, Mr. Anthony Morgan, don't be amazed that TTCB, Asim PNM Basarat, is investigating himself to himself, from himself, and throwing out whistleblower. Rowley, your prime minister, his prime minister did that. He said, that man is my friend, and then he continued to oversee the entire investigation, to impact it, to ensure his people were there, his lawyer was there, his company men were there, that the Petrotrin shut down, that nothing could be done, that police didn't get resources. So what's Basarat just following the PNM playbook?